Hello, my name is Ricky Wascher and I own and operate Cimamusic Mix Mastering. I am a home-based recording studio here in Tucson, Arizona. So in a nutshell, basically what I do is record and mix, and I do occasional mastering, and I also do some producing if an artist or band wants to work with a producer, and they'll give me a call, and I offer that support as well. And also I do some session work, mostly on guitar, but I help with other instrumentation as well. So basically today what I want to do is take you on a quick tour of my studio just to show you the gear that I use and give you an idea of my workflow. So first of all, over here, my Digital Audio Workstation, which we will call a DAW from now on. I prefer to track in Pro Tools, but I like to mix down using a software called Harrison Mix Bus. This DAW is absolutely amazing. If you've never heard of it before, I recommend you look it up. It imparts a very warm, fat analog sound just by virtue of importing a session into it. It's just absolutely amazing. And I use Adobe Audition as well. I use that a lot for hard editing and for a lot of mastering duties. So every DAW has its own characteristic, and those three just happen to be the ones that complement my needs the most. So over here for monitoring, I use the KRK Rocket 8s and the Rocket 5s. They're pretty affordable monitors, but very good. Actually, there's a top producer by the name of and mixer by the name of Jaquire King, and his go-to monitors are actually these little guys. They're very clean, transparent. You get what you hear. Really amazing monitors. So I use the 8s for monitoring more of the low end of a mix, and the 5s are more of my daily go-tos. And over here, the command center, if you will, is the Mackie Big Knob for the monitors. Really nice device. And my control surface, I use the Behringer X Touch. Also really nice control surface, a lot of features. This is my MIDI keyboard, the Keystation 61 from M Audio. So I use this for my virtual instruments. I have a pretty extensive library of strings and synths and brass and pianos and organs and percussions and drums. I mean, pretty much anything you need to fill in some space, I can do that with this little guy here. Now, for my outboard gear, I have, well, let's start first with the audio interface, which is the one down here in the bottom that's hidden under or behind those cables. That is the Tascam US 1608, which is a great interface, just very invisible for lack of a better way of putting it. Never gives me any problems, works great, just a very efficient piece of gear. And then I have my patch bays. Now, this mic pre right here is the Warm Audio WA412, which is actually a clone of a famous piece of gear from API. And I love this mic pre. It is just absolutely probably one of the best pre's I've had the privilege of using. I like API equipment, so it just gives me the sound I love. Very punchy, very good on drums. Awesome on electric guitars. I've used it on vocals also, and it just delivers. This is the Focusrite ISA2. That was designed by Rupert Neve. Also, more of a transparent, kind of clean mic pre, but it fattens things up very nicely. Up here is the ART MPA2 or Pro MPA2. ART also makes affordable gear, but these are actually pretty amazing mic pre's. This is a tube preamp, and I did replace the tubes just to give me a different color. It's amazing also on guitars, vocals, things like that. Now up on top I have the Pro VLA2, also from ART, the compressor, the MPA2's cousin, I guess you can call it. Really nice compressor, and actually this is also used in some top studios. It's a very good mastering compressor. I use it for tracking. I like to track with compression, especially things that are very dynamic, like a vocal or an acoustic guitar, and the Pro VLA just really makes things sound amazing. I also have the DBX 166. I'm a huge DBX compression fan. I also use that for tracking as well. And up on top, that recognizable green strip, the Joe Meek Mequalizer, the VC5, and that's an amazing EQ. Joe Meek doesn't make that anymore, so I had to really hunt that down because they're pretty difficult to get your hands on, but really amazing EQ. So moving on, let's come over here to the mixer. Now, back about 20 years ago, Mackie decided that they were going to create a mixer that was sort of a, how can I say it, their answer to the large format mixers that were in the studios at the time, the Neves, the SSLs, the APIs, the really high-end expensive consoles. So Mackie created the Mackie 8 bus, and I've got the 24 channel. And a lot of studios actually adopted this console, and a lot of big records were created on it. So I got my hands on one and decided to integrate it into my workflow, excuse me. So I dropped that snake into the downstairs, into the large room where I track everybody. And so everything comes through the console. The console goes to the interface to my DAW. Or, maybe I'll use some mic pre's on something, who knows. But anyway, so it's an amazing board. Very transparent, clean mic pre's. Love it. Moving on to my guitar stuff here. I've got the POD, that's the XT Pro on top, the red one. I've used that for many, many years. Love the options. The one on the bottom, this one is the Digitech GSP 2101. It's a tube guitar processor. I bought that in 1994, and it is still going strong. I still use it a lot. And I actually use these two as my live rack if I ever go out and play live. And got the power amp on the bottom. The speaker, the 2x12 with a pair of Celestion V30s. Great combo. And let's see, up here I've got an Alesis nano compressor, which actually a client gave to me, and this is a nice little piece of gear. Just strap it on anything, and it just really delivers. Down here I've got the Line 6 Spider 3. I actually bought that off of what's his name, Feldman from the Eagles, believe it or not. Very nice little amp. I've never recorded it with it before, but that's more of like a practice amp if I'm ever out and about playing. Now over here, this is sort of my mic locker / everything closet. Now I've got a pretty extensive collection of mics, very flexible. This is the Audix DP7 mic kit, drum mic kit, and I've got a whole bunch of i5s and D2s for bigger kits that have like tons of toms. This is the Avantone CV12 tube mic, which is an amazing microphone, inexpensive but just great. And actually, their claim to fame is that they used that mic to record Taylor Swift. I think her past 3 albums or something like that. But it's a really good microphone. My Shure SM7B, which is also a really good vocal mic. I have a pair of Mojave MA201s, a pair of AKG C414s, the Shure SM81s, which I love those as overheads or acoustic microphones, and the Rode NT2000. And over here, just some odds and ends. I've got a ton of 57s and 58s from Shure. Couple of pencil mics from AKG, the C430s, which are really nice, and some DI boxes. I like the Sans amp on bass guitars, so I have a couple of those in here. And let me see, bass guitar on the bottom, my trusty Fender Strat in the middle, pedal board on top, Some acoustic guitars here. I've got monitoring stations, so that goes downstairs with the bands so that they can monitor themselves. And over here I've got my guitar knickknacks. Now I am a guitar player by trade, so of course I do get a little crazy on guitar tones. I have the Vox that's the MV50. This is actually relatively new and has some kind of hybrid tube in it. And actually when I start laying stuff out and experimenting with guitar tone, that's actually a lot of guitar players' favorite little guitar head. And I have these small lunchbox devices from Orange. That is the Micro Dark, which is a lot heavier. This is the Micro Terror from Orange also, which is a little less distorted. The Bugera all-tube amp. So yeah, I go a little crazy when it comes to my guitar tones. So I think we have come to the end of the video. Oh yeah, every engineer needs a weight bench. Anyways, so if you're interested in giving me a call, having a conversation, coming over and recording, I would love to work with you. Please reach out. My website is www.cimamusicstudio.com. I'm also on Facebook, facebook.com/cimamusicstudio. My email is cimamusic@hotmail.com, or I'd love to talk with you, 520-313-4852 if you want to give me a call. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate your time, and take care.
It's 3 a.m. and I still toss and turn in bed. Just another night that you won't be coming.